Hi everyone, what's up? So last week I showed you how to automatically create tasks in Notion from incoming emails so that every client related task gets captured without any manual work. If you haven't seen our video yet, go check it out because today we're building onto that system. I'll show you how to take these tasks along with your meetings from your Google Calendar and automatically generate a personalized daily schedule for each of your team members. We'll walk through how to flow prioritizes tasks, blocks time around meetings, and creates a full, ready to send daily planner. So, before we start building our flow, let's just take a look at the final product that we want to achieve, and let's just go through the modules real quick so I can explain them before going into more detail. So, the first thing we're doing here is that we're pulling our daily meetings from my Google Calendar. Then I'm just going into my Notion account and retrieving all of the tasks that still need to be done. And I'm going to give all of this to my ChatGPT module right here. And this is where the prompt is very, very important because what I'm going to be asking him is to determine which tasks should be assigned to me and which tasks should be assigned to my colleagues. Once ChatGPT has done this tagging of the tasks, I will then put all the tasks and meetings belonging to me together here in this aggregator, and same for my colleague. And then I'm going to redirect them. So I think this one should be all of my tasks and all my meetings right here, and then this for my colleagues' tasks and meetings. And then again, this other prompt is also going to be very important because I am telling him on your own, what you need to determine now is what tasks need to be done now, so what to prioritize. And this is going to be based on how they've been tagged here in my Notion account. So based on the priority, based on the time left, and based on the due date, which ones should I focus on today? And then it's just going to create a plan, a schedule for me for the day, keeping in mind that I also have some meetings to attend. I have a 1 hour lunch break, and I should take 10 to 15 minutes break throughout the day. So once he's done that, he's going to email me this schedule. You can also send it to your Slack or your Teams so that it's easier to access in the morning. And so this way, every morning when I log in, all I have to do is look for this email or this message, and I can get straight into work. So now that we've seen our final flow, let's start building it. The first thing we need to do is that we need to pull all of our meetings from our Google Calendar. So let's connect to our module and we will search for events. And what we want is to search for events only in the date that the flow is running. So we need to set a start date and an end date. I'll just copy the format from here, but it's basically telling him that it should start from the day that it is in now at midnight and end it at the day that it is in at 11:59 p.m. So basically just pulling all of the daily meetings and not anything else. And date, and also I don't want to give it a limit. I don't think I'm going to get more than 10 meetings, but let's just remove this. Let's save. And now what this will do is that it'll go through all of my meetings and pull them one by one. But in order to be able to input this later on into our ChatGPT module, it's just easier to group all of these meetings together and have them into just one block of information. And so for this, we need an array aggregator. So all of the information coming from our Google Calendar, also we will be receiving all of this, which we don't really need. All we want is the description, the summary, and the start and end. This is all that we need right now. And we can save this. So it'll just pull everything together and only keep this information. Then we want to do the same with our tasks. So if we go here to our Notion, this is all the tasks that we were able to pull from our emails with the automation from last week. Again, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. So you can also automate this and save a bunch of time. But now that we have our tasks here, they aren't assigned to anyone. So this is what we are going to do with this new flow. So right here from our Notion, we want to search for objects, and we want to retrieve all of these tasks that are there. Tasks, okay. I'm just searching for the one that I want, so this would be the tasks tracker. And I want to filter these so that the status is not done. So I want to pull only tasks that are in progress or not started. And again, I don't want to limit right now. So let's save this. And just like we did before, I want to format this a little bit so that we can group all of the tasks into just one block of information with the array aggregator. Again, here I want the information to come from my Notion module, and here I want to select just here the property values. So this is where all of the information that I need is going to be stored. So this would be the name of the task, the owner, the due date, the priority, everything will be stored under this property value field. So that's it, and we can save. So now that we have all of this, we have all the information that we need, we will input this into our OpenAI module, and we will tell ChatGPT to go through all of these and attribute them to someone. So he will have to be able to distinguish between what in my case would be more technical tasks and meetings and more business related tasks and meetings. Here for the model, I'm gonna go ahead with this one. And I'm going back to my other flows just so I can copy and paste the prompt because it is quite long. I will once again attach the whole prompt to my description in the video so you guys can access it, go through it more calmly, and just copy and paste this into your own flow. And right now we can just go through it a little bit quickly, but I'm just telling him that he is a classification agent for my company, and I want him to analyze tasks and meetings that I will provide below. The goals are to classify them, so they will either be business or tech, and then based on that, also assign them to either me or my colleague, whose name is Paul. So here I explain more in detail what the different roles are. So Paul would be the CEO and business developer, so he handles things like client communication, outreach, strategy, contracts, marketing, etc. Whereas me, because I'm the AI automation developer, I'm going to be more on the tech side. So everything from handling technology, building automation flows, APIs, testing, debugging. So really giving him all of these keywords that he can easily identify in my tasks and in my meeting, and then be able to assign each of them correctly to the right person. I'm also giving ChatGPT some classification rules. You can go through this in more detail if you want. For meetings, I'm also telling him, for example, that the default classification should be business, except if it is explicitly including terms that are more technical. And again, I'm giving him a list of words to look out for. And so in that case, then I should be the owner of these meetings. And finally, I am telling him the exact format that I want so that he can reproduce this JSON format. And here I'm giving him all of the fields that I need. So the name, the type, the owner, the source. So is this coming from my tasks or from my meetings? If it is a task, then he will give me the priority, the due date, and the time left, and the start and end will be null. But if it is a meeting, then all of these will be null, but we will have a start and a end. Then here I'm just attaching then the tasks and the meetings. So for the tasks, it would be this one. So I'll just give him my array right here. And actually, if we open up, I can just show you what I was talking about before. So under my property value, this is where I have assignee, status, priority, time left, etc. So everything is there. And then here in meetings, just giving the array coming from here. So here, again, I will have everything that I need to know about my meeting. So a description, a summary, the start and the end of the meeting. Let's go ahead and save this. I need to probably save it again. Okay, save. And so now the output from this will be in a JSON format but it won't be a JSON yet. It'll be in a text format. So I need to take that text and convert it into actual JSON. So for that, I need a parse JSON. There we go. And what I need is to get the output, which is right here in content from my ChatGPT module. And I also want to give him an example of the structure of what this data will be like, just so that, we make sure that we are controlling every step of the formatting. So you can just go back to the prompt right here and copy this, just one of them. Okay, let's copy. And let's add here in the structure, you can give it a different name so we can keep track of our data structure. So this could be tasks data. And if we generate right here, so just giving him an example of what is the input that he is going to receive, and he will generate the format for us, and we can save. All right. And now that we have the right format of our data, what we will have is different blocks of information. And in each block, we will have a different task and a different meeting and all of the information related to this. So in there, we'll have the name, we will have, if it's a task, a description, a priority, and who it's assigned to. So we will have a list of all of these tasks and meetings. But now what we want to do is take each individual, so me and Paul, and group all of our meetings and tasks together and create just one block of information per person. So for this, we need, again, an array aggregator right here. So from our JSON, I want to take all of that information, so all of that list of different tasks and meetings. I want to keep all of this information right here. So the name, the type, the source, priority, so everything that we already discussed before. And I want to group this by the owner. So this is where, ChatGPT was able to assign a task or a meeting to each individual. So this is the owner. So I want to group by that. Save. And so now the output of this would be just two blocks of information. One block with everything belonging to me and one block with everything belonging to Paul. Awesome. And now this is where we will then split this information with a router. So from this router, we will have two paths. So one that is going to deal with all of the information related to me and one related to all of the meetings and tasks belonging to Paul. Now, this works well because maybe, we're a small team, we're only two people, but you can do it to 3, 4. But if you have maybe too many people, you can also do this by departments. So the marketing department will get its tasks, the finance, the law department, etc. So the first thing we need to do here is set the filters on how we're going to split this information. So let's set up a filter called Patricia's tasks. And the condition here, so how are we going to filter this, is that this key right here, so this key is what we grouped our information by. So in this case, we grouped the information by the name. So here would be the name of the person. And because these are my tasks, the name should be equal to Patricia. And the same here, but for Paul. So we're going to set up this filter, Paul's tasks. So the condition is that this key, which will be containing the name of the person, is equal to Paul. And save. Awesome. Now, what we have to do is set up our second agent, which is the one that is responsible for actually getting the tasks in the meetings, and from there building our daily planner. let's start with my tasks, and maybe we'll just set up my flow because doing polls would be just the same. So you can just duplicate the same modules. So we want to create a completion once again. Let's get this model right here. And while that charges, let me go back into my flow and copy the prompt that is already created. Again, we will go through this together, and you can just access the full thing on the link that will be in the video's description. So let's put this here. All right, so again, we're telling him that he is a daily schedule assistant agent this time, and his job is to write a friendly, human-like morning email to the team members to help them stay on track of everything they need to be done. So we're telling him that he will be receiving a list of tasks and meetings, and he needs to use this information to generate a short overview highlighting the most important things that I need to take into account that day, and then create a full time-blocked schedule. I'm giving him some guidelines. So in my case, I would work from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. I want to include a 1-hour lunch break from 12:30 till 1:30. And, to make this a little bit more realistic and not have back-to-back meetings and tasks to do, I'm telling him that I usually take around 2 breaks, 10-15 minutes each, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. I want him to analyze each element very carefully and prioritize them based on how they're tagged. So the priority tag, is it high, medium, or low? The due date, and also the time estimate so that he can fit it properly around the meetings that I have already scheduled. And then I'm just giving him the outline of the output that I want. So because I am sending this as an email, or you can send it as a Slack message, for example, I want to start with good morning and then that person's name. So here it would be, once again, our key. This is where the name of the person is stored. Here's a quick overview of your day. You have these many meetings today. You should prioritize these tasks right here. And here is your detailed schedule for the day. And we have our schedule. Let me know if you need adjusting. Have a great day. And now we're giving him the input data, so what he should use to do all of this. And this is coming here from our array. This is where all of the tasks in the meetings are stored. And that's it. So we can save this. And now, in my case, I want this to be emailed to me. Again, you can choose whatever you want. You can send this as text message, Slack message, team message, whatever. Send an email. The subject, daily planner, and the content from right here, choices, message, and content. So this would be the output of our ChatGPT module. You can add attachments, but we're not going to do that right now. And I'll just email this to this account. Yep. And save. Now no, don't do this to me. Okay. Now the last thing we want to do is that we want to schedule this to run every day. So here in the schedule settings, I want to run every day. And I start work at 9 a.m. So let's say that I want this to run every day at 8:30, so that once I log in, I already have my email telling me everything that I need to get done for the day, and I can just get straight into working. Let's save. I don't want to activate it right now, but everything is looking good. And even though we haven't set up this part of the flow, we can still go ahead and test it and see if it still works for me. So let's run this once. And this can take a little bit of time to process because it is receiving quite a lot of information and our prompts are pretty long. So while this goes on, we can just check everything else. So from our Google Calendar, we were able to pull 2 different meetings, so this bundle 1 and this bundle 2. Then from our Notion, we pulled 6 different tasks. Awesome. If we go back here into our task tracker, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are pulling all of them. Awesome. Let's go back. We got our first prompt done. Let's check the output in our choices, the message, the content. And as you can see, this is exactly what we had asked for. So the content is in a JSON format, like we have the name of our task or meeting. It did assign it to someone. So here, for example, test and deploy is clearly a more technical task. So he was able to assign it to me. Perfect. And he did this for all of the other tasks as well. We were able to transform this. And then here in our array aggregator, we should only get in our output 2 different bundles. So perfect, 1 and 2. 1 for me and 1 for Paul. Awesome. Then let's go and check out if this worked here. So again, in our choices, message, content. So this is the content that it generated from all of the meetings and tasks that were assigned to me, telling me that today I only have 1 meeting, so the product delivery. This is good, means that it's working because, it's a product delivery, so I'm going to have to be there to walk the client through the product that I just created for them and explaining, all of the technicalities that come with it. So it's important that I am in this meeting and not Paul. Then I should prioritize building onboarding automation because this is due very quickly. And also I'm guessing that the priority is set to high. And then it's just giving me a daily schedule. Something that is quite interesting to note is that in my prompt, I did tell ChatGPT that I wanted a lunch break from 12:30 until 1:30, but he was able to see that I did have a meeting at 1, and so he changed my lunch to a little bit early, so I was able to accommodate this meeting. So that is awesome to know that, he is able to do this and that there won't be any issues with the scheduling. And that's it. Now the last step is to check if I did receive the email. So if we go right here, there we go. We have it right here. It could use a little bit of formatting, but all the necessary information is there. So our flow seems to be working just fine. Awesome. And that's it, guys. You now have a full automation that takes your tasks and daily meetings and turns them in a ready-to-use daily schedule. I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to like and comment for more tutorials. And if you need any help building custom automations for your business, feel free to reach out at asandir.com. I will leave all of the links in our description, and I'll see you next time.